This truck rides pretty rough. So today, we're going to see whether or not adding a new set of shocks actually makes a big difference. Along the way, we'll cover the torque specs, and after driving on these Bilsteins for a week, I'm going to let you know if they're actually worth the extra money. So let's get right into it on the driver's side. For this video, I decided to take the wheel off to get a better view, but you can absolutely do this with the wheel still on. Either way, this job's actually pretty simple. There's only 2 bolts holding each shock in. We're going to start with the bottom first. I replaced both of these bolts a few years ago, but the originals were super rusty, so I definitely spray them down with some penetrating oil if needed. Even though we're starting with the bottom bolt, I'm going to leave it in until the top one's out. It just makes handling the shock a little bit easier. Once the top nut's off, push down on the shock a little and slide the bolt out. From there, pull the shock out from under the fender and remove the bottom bolt as well. Now, what's surprising is that these shocks really aren't that old. I've probably put close to 10,000 miles on them. Even so, it looks like the passenger side shock is already leaking, which is the main reason that I'm upgrading to a better set. These shocks cost almost 3 times as much, so I'm just hoping they last way longer. The only thing I really don't like about them is the fact that they're yellow. That color just doesn't really go well with a red truck. So before putting them on, I decided to throw some paint on them. With that done, we can start bolting everything back together. On a job like this, I like to use a little bit of Loctite on each of the bolts, but it's definitely not a requirement. For my F350, both of these bolts get torqued to 44 to 59 foot-pounds. As always, I'd recommend double checking the specs for your own truck. With the front finished, let's move to the rear. Just like before, we're going to start with the bottom bolt. I put fucking anti-seize on this. Honestly, the most annoying part of this whole job is getting that top bushing off of the stud. Mine definitely needed a little bit of persuasion. Jesus, where's the sleeve? Now, these rear shocks are actually directional. The larger bushing without the metal sleeve goes on top. And instead of fighting with it again, I decided to put a little bit of silicone grease on both the stud and bushing. Just that little bit made a huge difference. And unlike wheel bearing grease, it won't harm the rubber bushing. From there, all that's left to do is get the bottom bolt back in. Normally these shocks come with a strap that keeps them compressed for installation, but I cut those when I painted mine. So I'm going to use the help of a floor jack to get everything lined up again. The rear uses the same torque specs as the front, 44 to 59 foot-pounds. With everything bolted back together, the only question left is whether they actually changed how the truck drives. So after using them for a week, here's what I noticed. First, let's get the biggest negative out of the way. This truck still rides kinda rough. However, it's a leaf spring truck. If you're expecting these shocks to completely transform it, they're not going to. With that being said, that doesn't mean they didn't make a big difference. What surprised me the most wasn't how they handled really bad bumps. It was more of how it handled everyday roads. There were sections of the road that I'd always avoid because I knew they were rough. Now, those same roads are a lot more comfortable. I'm no longer bobbing and weaving around town, which is exactly what I wanted. Minor road imperfections are no longer a problem. My only real concern is longevity. That's the biggest reason I wouldn't recommend buying cheaper shocks, because my set failed before they hit 10,000 miles. Bilstein, on the other hand, has a much better reputation when it comes to quality. Overall, I think that these shocks are one of the better upgrades you can make to these old trucks. And that's really all there is to it. Hopefully this helps you if you're installing your own shocks. And if you're looking for more OBS Ford content, you can click this video right here.